You know, this is the early edition of Memphis finna fuck around and find out. Okay. Now listen to me, and I hope you share this. You need to share this. Don't just like it and make a comment. This needs to be shared. How do Trump infiltrate a city that is black, predominantly black, and predominant a Democrat? How do they do that? Well, see, they know they test driving things. Look, you gotta listen to me now. They test driving things. They got a plan A and they got a plan B. This is the plan B now. We're gonna talk about the A and the B. Well, right now, in order for him to get the coup, in order for him to become a dictator, he got to get control over the states. He got to get the states. So what he doing is the ones that are Democratic, and he know he can't take over, and he know he got to fight. He trying to declare a law for him to get in. But you said, Samantha, but what about Memphis? Well, see, your black leaders and already sold you out. And they letting you know that they sold you out. And you don't even see it. Paul Young, that AI coming to Memphis. And see, that's what's sad about Memphis, about black folks, is that y'all gonna give them benefit of the doubt. Even when they screwing you over, you gonna give them benefit of the doubt. Well, he didn't know no better. Well, he was just trying to help. Well, he was just doing all this stuff. But Samantha, this is the first year. Baby, he been playing in this. One thing about me is this right here. You know, I may get screwed once, but I don't get screwed twice with no condom and no Vaseline. Oh, no. See, Paul Young got in for two benefits. Money and the Project 2025. See, he feel like he don't want to fight it, so he gonna go along with the program. That's why Marsha Blackburn took a picture with him. Because see, Marsha Blackburn had to let him know that she had to let somebody know. So Trump, if you notice, Trump backed off. He's backing off. All these other cities he's messing with. He ain't messing with Memphis now since Marsha Blackburn took a picture with him. Because she had to let him know, oh, he's in on it. You ain't gonna have no problem out of him. He's in on it. He's in on it. Yeah, he's in on it. Now, you said, well, what about government? Because, see, they finna do mass deportation. They know the Memphis police can't really enforce it because they short. So, what about the county? Well, Floyd Buckner wouldn't be doing all this stuff. He getting ready to retire. He getting ready to move on. Floyd Buckner ain't been doing it. So, he had to get a coon. And that's where Anthony Buckner came into play. You got to hear me out now. See, Anthony Buckner, I kept saying, I've seen this officer before. I've seen him before. I've seen him before. I don't know where, but he looked familiar. And then I saw a picture of him and Conrad Kemp together. Why would a Republican chair endorse a Democratic candidate? Why is it that no other, so far I've not heard a Republican candidate running for sheriff? Why would a former, come on now, you got to think, why would he sit here and post a picture with Conrad Kemp endorsing him as Shelby County mayor? He fit the profile. He's dark. He's been in law enforcement. And he's a Democrat. That's what it says on there. That's what he says. So they know if they get right about now, with all this Trump stuff going on, if they couldn't find a Democrat that was going to come in and play with Trump on the Democratic end. See, we got two ladies there. But see, they betting on y'all, you black folks in Memphis, to turn on each other. That's what they expect. So They ain't worried about that part. So he's endorsing it. See, for you black folks, it makes it look good. Well, it must look good. The Republican Party is saying that it looks good, and he's a Democrat. So I'm gonna vote for him. Yeah. I remember Anthony Buckner at two occasions. He used to work for the sheriff department. And yeah, I'm finna come out on this one. Anthony Buckner, it was a friend of mine, a girl I was hanging out with, and me, we had went out. And somehow we went somewhere, and we ended up at a place, and he was, it was early in the morning, and he was there, and he was really harassing us, I'm gonna say harassing, about our phone number. Well, I wasn't driving then. She was driving, I was the passenger. And she didn't want him. And I sure didn't want him because he had that pointed head. Something about that pointed head. He's not even cute, but he, back then he had a pointed head. So we were getting ready to get in the car, go. I think we was at the Waffle House. I don't know. But anyway, I'm getting old. And he told us before we get in the car, he said, if y'all don't give me one of y'all don't give me y'all phone number, he said, I'm gonna write you up a ticket. I'm gonna give y'all a ticket or something. We were like, at first we thought he was playing. Then I got to thinking, when he was serious, he went and got his ticket book. I said, shit. I said, I don't have a cell phone. I don't even have a cell phone. You got a home phone? I said, my phone been cut off. I said, I got my phone cut off. I said, it's been cut off for like a month or so. Well, how you get a phone call? I said, I live with my mama. That was a lie. I told her quickly, I live with my mama. I said, my mama, where you live at? I told him where I lived at. I live in South Memphis, on Belmont. He said, oh, well then, I don't go in that area. I don't go in that area. She gave him a number to I think it was a restaurant or something. He told me, I'm going to call you now. If this number come back wrong, I'm going to come back for you. We were so scared. We didn't even go out for months. Then, I briefly saw him when I became a correction officer. And I remember him. And I said, you know what, let me get away from him because I don't want to, But anyway, so they got Anthony Buckner to run. Yeah, they did. The Republican Party got Anthony Buckner to run for sheriff. How he do that against that girl named Keisha? She probably, and they backing him financially. Yeah, that's why he putting out more stuff than she is. He's doing more stuff than she is because he's banking on it. They bankrolling him. The Republican Party is bankrolling Anthony Buckner. That's what it is. So what's happening is, since Kemp is endorsing him, the Republican Party is bankrolling him. He's able to put out more flyers. He's able to be more donations. He's able to be more visible than the black woman. He's more visible because he's saying that he's a devoted father. He's devoted this. He's devoted that. So he have to say that. But you said, Samantha, he's a devoted father. I looked at his profile. He just got married in July. He just got married in July. See, they told him he had to have a family structure. See, he couldn't have all them kids out here and be saying he's a devoted father and he's let me get this right. He's a devoted father. He's now he can put, he's a husband, father, a devoted father, serviceman. See, that completes the whole picture. See, because at first he was saying he can't say he's a devoted father and he got illegitimate children out here, or he got kids out here and he ain't married. See, that may put a stain on it. Yeah. See, they can't come in the front door. They can't come in through the front door, so they're coming in through the back door. And they're using our color to come in. Now you gonna say, well, I'm friends with Anthony. I go to church with Anthony. That don't mean shit right about now. Anthony gonna sell you out, your friends out. He's selling everybody out. Because you know why? Because he's looking at getting in office. He's gonna have a paycheck. He's gonna do what Trump says do. And by the time y'all look up, y'all gonna be federal. Y'all gonna be under the federal jurisdiction of Trump. Which means that whatever happens, whatever Trump says happens, gonna happen. If he says that he don't like the way y'all preaching in church, he can have y'all coming in. That's the Gestapo. That's how he's able to control the country. He did it in federal. Now he got to do it state by state. In order for him to become a dictator, he has to have control over the cities and states that are within the United States. But it don't bother Anthony Buckner that he's taking away civil rights. Now, see, that's how them coonberries work. That's how the coonberries work. They don't look at the long-term effects of what they're doing to somebody. It's what's in it for them that affects them. That's what's in it for them. So they take over because Memphis is the most predominant Democratic black city in Tennessee. They got these under control. They got these blacks under control. They got Knoxville ain't got too many blacks. Nashville, they protesting there. They coming in through the back door. And if y'all don't vote for that fool because you know him. Don't vote for him. Don't vote for him. I'm telling you. If you see what's going on now the game changer is gonna be this. This is how the game changer. They are banking on you voting for them before that big, beautiful bill start getting in effect. Why you think they delayed it? Why you think they delayed part of the big, beautiful bill? Because if they did it now, probably would no Republican get into office. So right now, this is what they call a soft kill. This is a soft kill. They implement things in place so that when they finally start doing it, when they start coming to pass, it's gonna hit like it ain't never hit. That's why they delayed it until November of next year, not this year, next year. Cause see, they got to get in. They got to get the infrastructure in, and the infrastructure in is voting Republican. So they say, well, how they doing it is that they're putting people who are Democrats, but they Republicans. Y'all better know it. Y'all better know. You better know the difference now. If you don't know the difference, see, this is what happens when you don't vote. This is what happens when you think voting don't matter. I keep emphasizing it. This is what happens when you think that folks that you know and you voting for them because you know them instead of knowing them. Oh, Anthony Buckner, he gonna be a game changer on y'all. Y'all the last dinosaurs. Y'all the only ones that we as black folks have a voice. See here, that's why you think Rachel is not infiltrating why you think that, come on now. Come on. Why you think that the Democratic Party is so hard in the red states? It is because they trying to finish y'all out. They gonna finish y'all out. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing and see the black caucuses figured it out. Hold on. Some of the Democrats in blue states have figured it out. That's why he had targeted them. Them gonna be the hard ones. Why you think he's sending stuff to Gavin Newsom? Come on now. Why you think he's fighting a woman in Washington, D.C., Chicago? Why he going after these black mayors? Why you think that? Because he know he gonna have a fight on their hands. But see, when Marsha Blackburn went down there and took a picture with Paul Young, she was letting Trump know He's surrendering. You ain't gonna have no problem with him. When Comrade Kemp, when Anthony Buckner had Comrade Kemp on his thing, it let him know, you ain't gonna have Trump, you ain't gonna have a problem. He gonna comply. That's the signal is. But see, you black folks think it's, oh, he loved by Democrats and Republicans. He a good, no, they letting you know, they letting Trump know, they letting the regime know, he gonna comply. You ain't gonna have no problem out of him. He on board with it. He get it. And before y'all can even sit down and have breakfast in the morning, after the election, if y'all vote for Anthony Buckner, Marsha Blackburn, y'all gonna wake up in the morning after that election. They ain't gonna wait till they get sworn in then. They're gonna be like Trump. He didn't wait till he get sworn in and start doing damage. He gonna do a damage immediately the day after that. That's how that Section 8 housing gonna come up. The SNAP benefits, all this Medicaid and all of that. Y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up. This shit is not playing. They not playing with. They are going for the coup. If you listen, you got to be on Marsha Blackburn's page, how she talk about these illegal aliens and all of this, and all you black folks saying, well, you know what, they need to go. You're not looking at the due process. Everybody's entitled to due process, and you got to remember that when they get rid of all these brown folks, where you think all these, that what see was expected for us to go back in them fields. But y'all saying, no, well, see, that's what's wrong. You're so smart, you're dumb. Start thinking. Think. He ain't running for office because he been in the sheriff department 23 years. He's running because somebody picked him to run for sheriff. Somebody picked him to run for sheriff. They picked Marsha to run for a governor because she's letting you know that she's on board with Trump. Buckner is letting you know underhandedly, he letting Trump them know, Marsha Blackburn them know that he's on board. Paul Young is on board. And y'all still think that folks that say that they Republicans are Republicans. That's why I tell people here, if you ever want to learn true politics, go to Memphis. It's one of the most cutthroats in all, because you got folks who were willing to sell you out for their own benefit.